Good day, everyone. How you doing? And Merry Christmas from sunny South Africa. This is how we celebrate Christmas in South Africa because it's so warm. Christmas Day is actually normally spent around the pool with the barbecue going. So nothing like the snowy postcards and Christmas cards that we grew up with. So guys, what I want to share with you today for the Advent calendar is I want to talk to you about prompts. And I want to teach you how you can get better at writing better prompts, therefore getting a much better result from whatever generative AI tool that you are using. So before we get started, I want to just quickly do a quick introduction to those of you who don't know me. I'm a global talent sourcing trainer. I train teams all over the world. I love what I do. I'm absolutely passionate about my business. What's kept me really busy in 2023 is I built an online academy. So you can access my training on demand in your own time, learn at your own pace and implement while you are learning. It's been really a cool project and I'm adding to this academy in January. I also do a lot of consulting in the recruiting space. I talk about personal branding. I do a lot of speaking on this topic because again, it's something I'm passionate about. So at the moment, I'm based in a place called Plettenberg Bay, which is in South Africa on the Garden Route. And my superpower is definitely my ADHD. And I know that there's lots of people out there like myself who suffer from this superpower. Now you have to have some side hustles, right? So my side hustles include, I do a lot of keynote speaking. That's actually how I met a lot of the other sourcing members of our fantastic community that are also taking part in this year's Advent calendar. When I'm not working, I'm normally behind my camera and taking photographs, and these are some of my photographs that I've taken recently. So let's get started. If you want to follow me in other places, there's my Facebook group, The Talent Hunters. Please come and join us. And I have a very active YouTube channel. I'm often posting videos there. So go and subscribe, and then you will be notified every time that something new is uploaded on there. And there's some big news coming for my YouTube channel next year, but more about that at a later stage. So when it comes to prompting, I'm actually going to start with image generators. And the reason why I do this is I think that it's actually a lot easier to understand the importance and the value of your prompts using images before we dive into text. So I don't push myself forward as the best image generator out there. That is undoubtedly an award for Irina Shamaeva. If you want to go and see some of her work, go onto Facebook, go and find the account called The Prompter and have a look at what she is creating. Absolutely amazing. But let's start with the basics. So about 6 months ago, when I started playing with image generators, I was actually playing around with DALL-E 2. And this is the prompt that I actually put into the system. It was very simple, a giraffe and a zebra in watercolor. And this is the result that you can see here. Now, what you'll notice is that the zebra's got quite a long neck. I don't know whether they confuse that with the giraffe. Also, where's the rest of my giraffe? It looks like it's walking past a window. And the watercolor is pretty basic. So I use this example so that we can look at the prompt. I put in a very simple prompt and I got a very simple result, right? Let's go and have a look at another one. This, I put a little bit more work into the prompt, and I said I want an oil painting portrait of a rodent wearing medieval royal robes and an ornate crown on a dark background. And this is the image that I got. So as you can see, putting more information in actually generated a far better image and exactly what I was looking for. Now, the beauty of this is that you could go and Google the same thing, and you probably wouldn't be able to find an image that is that bizarre, that left of center. So I went and played around with a few more, and now you can see how image generators have developed over the last 6 months, because this is now using DALL-E 3, which is from OpenAI. And you can see with this prompt over here, you can see the result that pops up. Again, you're never going to go and find a photo of this anywhere on Google, so sometimes you just have to go and generate your own image. Now, about 3 months ago, I did a post where I took the text from my LinkedIn profile. I changed it to sound like a pirate. I put it on a LinkedIn post, and I needed a picture of a whole lot of pirates sitting around a boardroom. So this was generated with DALL-E 2, and you can see from the quality of their hands, their faces, it isn't that great, okay? Again, simple prompt, but 3 months ago, the image generators are not where they are now. So what I did was I did an experiment. And I went to DALL-E 3 and I put in a similar prompt. I fleshed it out a bit because, as you can see, I've been learning how to write better prompts myself, and look at the result that I got. This is a far better image of what I'm actually looking for. So I just wanted to highlight this, that a lot of your prompting and the results that you're looking for from generative AI tools really comes down to the information that you are feeding in and how we can all learn together. Again, I wanted to finish off with the watercolor painting of a giraffe and a zebra, and there we go. Isn't this much better than the first image that I showed you? So a combination of my prompt getting better and the quality of the images that are generated improving with time. Now you can see that we're getting somewhere. So on that note about the prompts, I want to go and take that into generative AI from a text perspective, like a ChatGPT. So if you would like to go and play around with some image generators, here are some free examples that you can go and play with. You are more than welcome to go and sign up, have a look. I'd love to see what you produce, so let me know. So let's go and have a look at ChatGPT now, remembering what we've learned from prompts and the information that we feed into these machines. So you can use ChatGPT for a whole lot of things. Just a few of the ideas. It's competitor analysis or research, how to write role or job descriptions, how to generate interview questions and answers, may I include there, how to write job adverts, how to summarize documents, acts and policies. It's really, really good for all of this. But one thing that I do want to highlight is that ChatGPT is actually just our starting point, should never be our ending point. So by that I mean, use it to put together a framework. Use it to help you to get started, but you must go and edit and put your own personal spin on whatever you have produced from ChatGPT. Because first of all, you've got to fact check the content, because sometimes the content is not correct. And the second thing is that ChatGPT can be very verbose. So you don't want to have something that is 6 paragraphs, which easily could have been 2. Also another thing, generative AI hasn't got the best math skills, so you can go and test it on a couple of complex sums. And make sure you've got your calculator handy, so just remember that. The hallucinations I like to refer to as it's a bit of a people pleaser, which means that if it doesn't know the answer that you're looking for, it often will just take a guess, which is why you need to go and fact check what you are looking for. And if you're not using the paid for versions, it often says, I'm sorry, I'm only programmed up until September 2021. I don't have data prior to that. So we need to make sure that whatever we are using that has been generated from ChatGPT, that we again fact check the data. So let's go and dive in to a little bit of ChatGPT. So now what a lot of people don't realize is that there is a free version from OpenAI that you can still use. This is the one that I'm on now, 3.5. And there's also a paid version, which is this one over here. And that includes DALL-E. So if you enjoyed the piece around image generators, you get DALL-E 3 on here. When you pay for it, it's $20 a month. So let's just stick with the free version for now, just to give you a bit of a basic idea of what you could generate. So let's say I am interviewing let's say a data scientist today. Please give me 5 technical questions and 4 behavioral questions to ask. There we go. So something like this, you'll see what it does is it generates the questions very quickly and actually even gives you the answers in an example. So that is pretty much how it works. You can use it for many different ways. It's not really what I want to focus on today. I want to focus on the prompting. So if you haven't gone to play with any generative AI in the text space, I invite you to go and do so. So let's just go back to how we are using it, because the way I believe we should be using generative AI is the following 2 ways. So when I say get from 0% to 60%, is instead of sitting and staring at a blank screen, not knowing what to type when you're tasked with something new, you could go to ChatGPT and you could ask questions about maybe how do you get started? Can they give you a framework for something that you're trying to do? Or else you could use it to do the final piece of your work. So you can put together the basic plan, feed that into ChatGPT and ask it to generate whatever you are looking for. It could be an email at the end. It could be a blog. It could be ideas for video content. Whatever it is that you are trying to achieve. I even got a project plan generated the other day using ChatGPT. So let's just dig deeper into the prompts now. So we've looked at the prompts for the images. I want to look at the prompts for text. So a couple of things before we get started. What is your objective? What are you trying to achieve? And before you just dive into ChatGPT, you've got to think, why am I using this? What am I using it for? So make sure that you have that clear in your mind before you get started. What you've then got to do is break down the tasks into baby steps. ChatGPT doesn't really like a very long prompt. You can break it into steps and then kind of collate everything. That's why you've got the chat option on ChatGPT, where you can say new chat or just keep within the same chat, and then it remembers your previous prompts. Also, point number 3, you want to review and sharpen and shorten and sharpen your prompt. We can only use generative AI better if we get better at our prompting. And then once you've run the prompt, it's almost like a growth hacking technique. You've got to sit back, you've got to evaluate the results, iterate if it was a good one, or actually reassess and say, okay, I need to sort this out. I need a better prompt here. So I'm going to give you an example of a framework that you can be using for your prompting. So these are the steps, and I'm going to give you a real life example. So you start by simulating a persona. So you say, you are a Java developer. You are a CFO writing a role description for another CFO. So you almost like set the scene. You then have to give it a clear task based on what are you trying to achieve. Next step is to outline the steps to complete that task. So this is where the baby steps come in. Really break it down so it knows exactly what you're looking for. Give it context and constraints. Now, pretty much every prompt that I put into ChatGPT, I'll say things like, restrict this to 250 words as a result, or 1,000 words, or whatever it is, just because it can, as I say, be very verbose. You then want to specify the goal. What is the end result for this person? What are you hoping to achieve? And then format the output that you are looking for. So let's put this into a real life example for you. So number 1 was, remember, starting with simulating a persona. So here you go. You're a recruiter with 10 years experience in the tech industry. Your task is to create a technical assessment for a Python engineer. These are the steps that you're looking for. This is what the task must cover. Then, giving a context and constraints, you can say how much time the person has. You want multiple choice, you want short answer, you want coding questions in there. It must be challenging but not impossible. Specify your goal, clear instructions on how the assessment must be administered, graded, and then your output, how do you want the result to be presented? And it says here, Google Doc or PDF. So what I've done to make our lives a little bit easier is I literally just went and copied that in here. I'm going to take exactly that same prompt using that framework. We're going to go back into ChatGPT over here. I'm going to start a new chat so it doesn't get confused, and I'm going to pop it in. And what you're going to see from that framework that I've given it, okay, here we go. Here is my result. Here's a technical assessment for a Python engineer. It's got the technical questions, it's got the instructions, it's got the different points there, all the different sections that I gave it, that I broke the task down into bite-sized pieces. And there we go. There is the result. So what you can see is by giving the ChatGPT a much better framework, a much more solid prompt, I get a result that I don't have to go and keep prompting and editing, to be honest with you. It's just something that is there, it's ready, and I can use it time and time again. So pretty much what I want to say here, guys, is that we're very busy. You don't need to go and try and understand absolutely everything that ChatGPT shows us or that is out there, whatever tool there is. We've all got problems, but use AI to solve the problem that you are trying to fix. So have a look at your recruitment processes, look end to end, what's taking too much time, what's very admin heavy, and then go and find an AI solution for that. It's great fun. You'll really enjoy it. So that's all for me, guys. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn if you would like to chat further about this. And here are my contact details. I'd love to hear from you. You can go and have a look at my academy. There is some free training in there if you would like to go and take part. And otherwise, I wish you guys all a very, very Merry Christmas. Have fun, be festive, enjoy seeing your family, and eat loads.